to be. What up, y'all? Hey, Shane. Adam. See you guys coming in. Happy My Friday. I took tomorrow off. Keith, what's going on? Tobin, hey, buddy. Nick. Daniel. So I got, as probably some of you know, CGC's been running pretty slow. I typically do just the standard modern send off. Hey, Devin, and they've been averaging, I would say, about 20 days. I am local to them, so I'm about an hour away. But as of recently, probably because all the signings, they're just taking forever. So this one was pretty decent pull. Some of the books I actually cracked out of cases and wanted to see if I can get better scores because I got better with the press over the last 6 months. So I kind of saved those for the end. I'll be posting kind of before and afters too, pretty soon. Rich, what did I win? You won the new floors I'm putting in. So you're probably going to hear an echo right now. The tile or the carpet's been pulled out. So the guy putting in our floor has a sick mom that just as he's walking through our door, all of a sudden got a phone call. So anyway, Justin, hey buddy. Jimmy. All right, I think we'll get started because I did already know the scores, which I don't normally do. We kind of do a blind thing in our family. My daughter actually did it from the phone because I just couldn't wait. So she goes through the title, what the book is, and what were you expecting? I always expect 9.8s, I say. But, and then, I either jump for joy or cry in my kitchen. So this one I actually jumped, which is kind of funny. Later on that night, I went skateboarding with her. Don't do it 39 years old, by the way. I tore my my calf muscle, so I walk in a little slow. But all right, so let's get started. First one is kind of a low grade for what I think it is, but good old 361 in a newsstand. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be a little upside down on this one. It looked pretty gorgeous when I saw it, and I nabbed it up at a little higher price, which I don't lose often on books like this, but this one I probably will wind up doing it. So you'll probably see this one up there and waffle pretty soon, especially since newsstands are blowing up. So 9.0. Kind of disappointing since I did just trade away my 361, but all good. So next one, this one kind of surprised me too, which I will say for those that are waiting for CGC, I've been getting a lot more graders notes. So, Nick, you want to see mine? Like, that's weird. Like, maybe we can do a private channel later and we can make that happen. So, but, so Avengers 684, good old Kevin Brown, 9.4. Like, there were grader notes for it, but I couldn't even see what they were talking about. There was a couple defects internal on the book, but, oh well, you can't not love that cover, so, but regardless, it's gonna be a waffle or just a drop ship, but, so. Colton, no, I haven't been dropping off in person. It is an hour drive each way, and I do work banker's hours, and so do they, so it's kind of hard. I did take off tomorrow though, and I'm driving past Sarasota, so I have 74 books to drop off. Because I'm gonna try the pre-screen at 9.8 for the moderns that we're doing. So I'm gonna be sure to keep everybody in the loop on that. 22 of those are Strange Academy. So I've got 14 1As and then a slew of variants. So hoping those come back pretty solid, but thanks to Tobin, I have my first 9.8 on the Strange Academy, so that's the first of hopefully many, many more. So, Joshua, I press them myself. I typically don't press, I don't send off until I press at least once, especially with Marvel books. CGC hates to see that little wave that you get. So, Tobin. So that being said, you do want to press them. Even if you don't think it needs it, just press them. And I've got a $150 press, and I'll tell you that the last book, as if it hasn't paid for itself already, the last book, hey Kenny, the last book in this box was definitely paid for 3 or 4 presses at this point, so it may be time to add a second one. But all right, next one, moving on. I'm a big Dylan fan, sleeper. Anyone who knows me, I tend to gravitate towards anything Venom, but this was the 1 in 25 variant. Happy with a 9.8, pretty solid. Kind of lost touch a little bit, but Dylan's obviously picking up steam, especially with Null coming in the mix. So if you guys haven't looked at Venom 29, I believe, Codex, it has Dylan from the throat like hanging off a building. So I'm thinking Venom 28, if you haven't done a slew of pre-orders, get on it. I got about 20 coming, so I think that's going to be Codex first full appearance, and it's going to be pretty nasty. So and definitely keep picking up your Dylan books. I think he's got something up his sleeve. If you haven't read that book already, it's actually a really good read. This one you guys will all know and probably laugh at that I even sent it, but the good old Walmart variant of Symbiote, Symbiote Spider-Man number 4. Just the production run alone was worth the $18 to get it graded. So definitely came back, obviously, a grade I'm happy with. There's only, I think, 5 on the census of this actual book. So there hasn't been any sold, so I have no idea what it's worth. Neither does GPA. But definitely a cool book just for the rarity alone. So you'll probably see that one waffling up too. I have no idea the cost. So next one, I don't see Derek Esslinger up here, but we've all seen the bullet hole version. This is the 9.8 version. As much as you want to hate Punchline, she's probably not going away anytime soon. So might as well grab up your 89s, your Hella Risen 3s, and get them graded. So this it's trending in the $200 range on eBay right now. So I don't want to take a gun to it and see what I can do about it. Although I do love, if you haven't seen it on Slabbage, he's making a massive donation to his local kill shelter, which is awesome. So, hey chat. All right, moving on. Another lovely Punchline, 9.8. This is the 1 in 25 variant for Batman 92. I'm not a huge DC person, but I gravitated towards these Jimenez covers, and I've gotten every one so far. So I'm going to have matching 9.8s across the board. That's the plan. So I just got the new Joker one, which is pretty sweet too. So, all right. Next, we're getting to the fun stuff, I promise. So this is awesome. I love Shuri, Black Panther number 2, 9.8. I had one that I was clearing out some stock recently, and I think I put it up for a waffle. It may have been one of my bin sales, but as soon as I sold it, instant remorse. So, and then a raw dropped in my lap. So, and again, everything I have here, I do press before I send off. And if I don't think it's 9.9 worthy, it typically doesn't get sent. So, but next one, jumped on the Star Wars bandwagon. I don't know who any of these characters are, but Knights of, did you just laugh at me? Yeah. Okay. Knights of Republic 42. This book, even though I was disappointed at 9.6, it's gravatory. It's in the 2 to 250 range on eBay right now, because no one's sure where of course the next trilogy may go. But so 9.6, I was okay with that. The next couple, they're the same book, so I'm just gonna pull them out at the same time. So I don't think anyone here can't be a Jessica Jones fan in some way. This is a hugely underrated book. Pick them up all day for 40 bucks raw. So I was able to get a couple killer copies from Jason Slovin. One out of Waffle, and then he had another one laying around, so I bought that one too. So solid book. Even the 9.8 selling the 150 to 170 range. Definitely pick one of those up. You have with future of MCU, you never know where that's going to go. So, all right, we're getting down to the last few solid covers. This one I was kind of disappointed in. I had an awesome guy that I was getting books from Canada, and he had ultimate collection, man, from the 80s, untouched, and he had hundreds of every book. I personally bought 6 or 7 copies of these from him, and everyone came back a 9.8. This is actually the lowest grade I've gotten from that collection. Unfortunately, he's out of them too. I would have kept buying them. But still a solid book. Obviously, iconic cover. Everybody knows it. So I do have a 9.8 also already. So they may just hang out together, or I may waffle it. So obviously, leave your comments if it's something you want to see. Next one is pretty cool. When I bought it, same guy, same good old Canadian variant. Super rare. It's the Marvel Team Up Canada variant, Canada price variant, 9.6. This is one of those books that you look at GPA and go, oh, I had no idea. So a 9.6 GPA, it's in the 4 range. However, eBay, this consistently sells anywhere from $500 to $600 on eBay for a 9.6. 9.8 is in the $1,200 to $1,400 range, so that would have been nice, but it's not without its defects. But really cool book, obviously newsstand, and it's the Canada variant. There is only 8 in the census of this book. So, and 1984, obviously the first black suit, if you want to say that, or maybe the 252. So, pretty cool one. All right, getting down to my last 3 favorite. This one I've bought probably a handful of times in the last year, just hoping for as good as I can get. Good old Silver Sable's first appearance, ASM 265. This one was arguably flawless, and it came back pretty, obviously 9.8 grade. I'm pretty happy with it. So this is probably going to be a keeper, but I have faith now that Black Widow is gone. You're going to need that strong kick butt Silver Sable type, so I foresee that she's going to be in our future. So, all right, down to the last 2 books. These are my favorite. I'm an 80s kid, born in 1980. You know, grew up watching all the silly cartoons and all that, and buying every figure you can buy. So I bought this one out of what you would call, I guess, one of the blister packs, you know, from the mid 80s. Hold on, Shock Top. I don't own stock. So a blister pack where they put in, you know, 2 or 3 books, and it's usually the same series. I bought one off of eBay for like 35 bucks because I was like, oh man, I didn't even know that book existed. I got to buy it. So good old Thundercats, #1. Pressed it both wet and dry a couple times to get out any kinks. It's pretty sharp corners, white pages, which this book might surprise you. Obviously, a lot of books have blown up after the pandemic hit us for arguably no reason other than they've got some stimulus checks burning a hole in their pocket. So this book you were buying for $250 all day, and now it's in the $500 range. So it was there at CGC for nearly 42 days. So I sent it off just because I'm an 80s kid and I wanted this book because it's just iconic in my childhood, and came back 9.8, freaking beautiful. So you will not see that as a waffle most likely. Some of the other ones you won't see, I've got G.I. Joe one, I've got a Transformers. I love those 80s books, anything that from that era, obviously, just like many of my boys do. So the next one is, I had a 9.8 of this book, and I wound up trading it away for an NYX. And I kicked myself immediately, but, you know, who doesn't want an NYX? But I had a 9.8 of this book, and I had 2 of them. I had one 9.2 and one 9.8, and I was going to part with the 9.2. And then I said, you know what? It's going to be the first book I crack and see what I can do with the press. Because I sent it off just before I got one and got really good. So, but one of my favorite books, DC Comics Presents 47, first appearance of He-Man and Skeletor. This went from a 9.2 to a 9.8. I do have the little slip. I'm in the currently I'm moving, so in an infancy of unpacking, but I'll post some photos probably tomorrow as soon as I find the little slip. But so it's kind of a, you know, shameless plug. I do pressing. I do grading through CGC Direct. But so I took a book that was arguably about 150 bucks, and now this one trends in the 850 to 1,000 range. So one of my favorites. It's going to go well with my G.I. Joe, my Transformers, and my Thundercats. So that's about it, guys. I've got roughly 30 more books coming back in the next week or two. A lot of signed stuff. Tyler Kirkham, Shannon Mayer, Carla Cohen, Perillo. And then the following week, I'll probably have, I've got about 70 books leaving tomorrow. So some of them are going to be fast pass. If you guys like these videos, the unboxing, I always tend to watch other people. So I was like, what the hell, I'll do my own. You know, I obviously love this silly little hobby, and encapsulating just cool process. So anyway, that's going to be it. Have a wonderful Thursday night. If there's any books here that you want to see waffled, or hell, you even want to throw offers out there, by all means, you know, shoot me a PM or just reply within down below and let me know. So, but everybody have a good night. I'll see y'all soon. Bye, guys.